start?
I'm sorry, maybe is somebody going to just show do you want to show the agenda or just?
Yes, please, if you can maybe just display the agenda on the screen. I think it will also be very useful for people logging in from outside.
Okay. Is somebody going to do that? Must I do it?
Please, you can go ahead, Tracy. Thanks.
I'll find it quick. Okay, Willem, so I just share my screen, eh?
That's right.
Okay, let me just get to it quick.
We are streaming live now to the public, just for interest's sake.
Tracy, if you'd like, then I can share my screen.
Could you please?
Yes, thank you very much. And I think we can start. Good morning, everybody, all the members of the Cape Agulhas Municipal Planning Tribunal, and also good morning to people that are logging in virtually on the different platforms of the municipality. Just want to give you a warm welcome to this Municipal Planning Tribunal meeting of the Cape Agulhas Municipality, which is being held virtually today, Friday the 2nd of July at 11 o'clock. So I declare this meeting as open. I think we can continue with the agenda of the meeting. I think the first item of the agenda is apologies. So are there any apologies? Received an apology from Mr. Francois Kotze from the Overberg District Municipality, who was unable to make this meeting. There was also a secundi that were nominated on his behalf, but unfortunately he could also not make the meeting today. But nevertheless, we are quorum for the meeting, just for attendance sake. Myself, Eben Phillips, I'm the municipal manager at Cape Agulhas Municipality and also the chairperson of this Municipal Planning Tribunal. I'm present in the meeting. If everybody just can record their attendance to the meeting, please.
Abdulaziz Jacobs, also a member of the tribunal. I'm present.
Indra Kroon, also a member. I'm present. Thank you.
Jeremy Benjamin, external member of the MPT. Thank you.
Okay, those are the members of the tribunal. We've also got some support staff from the municipality also present in the meeting. If you can just indicate your attendance as well, please.
I'm Tracy Stone, Division Head Strategic Services, Planning and Administration.
Chanel Nell, Senior Town Planner.
Donald October, morning everyone, Town Planning Department.
Is that it?
Carmen Dieterich, Administrative Officer for Committees.
Okay, thanks, Carmen. I know Willem van Zyl is also logged in, but mostly from a technical support side, because this meeting is being live streamed, and also if anybody might experience any technical ICT difficulties, is always ready on a standby basis. Thank you very much. Welcome to this meeting. Before we go into the agenda, I just think it's also important that we just indicate if anybody has any interest to declare in terms of the agenda before us. Very quickly, Eben Phillips, I've got no interest to declare in any of the items on the agenda.
Abdulaziz Jacobs, no interest to declare.
Indra Kroon, no interest to declare.
Chairperson Jeremy Benjamin, no interest to declare. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. See, there's not a lot of items. In fact, there's only one item on the agenda that we have to consider today, and that is the application for the rezoning subdivision and special consent for a remainder of 1148 Bredasdorp, and for the specific purposes of establishment of a public transport interchange. But before we go there, we can go to the third item of the agenda. It's the approval of the minutes of the previous Municipal Planning Tribunal meeting, that was held in December 2020. Can I just get somebody that can propose the correctness of the minutes? Anybody that has been present at that meeting in December? There's a proposal from Mr. Abdulaziz Jacobs for the correctness of the minutes. Can I get a seconder for that, please? Thank you, Mr. Jeremy Benjamin is a seconder. Are there any items that you feel we need to discuss out of this minutes, or can we regard that as resolved and out of the way? If there's none, thank you very much. Then we can go to item number 4 on the agenda is, as I've indicated, 4.1 is an application for the rezoning subdivision and special consent, remainder of Earth 1148, Bredasdorp. I think the main reason why it is also on the agenda is because it's an application from Cape Agulhas municipality itself, and subsequently it has been referred to the Municipal Planning Tribunal to consider. Tracy, is Sonal or Donald, are you just going to give us some background and just lead us into the discussion or present the item to us, please?
I requested Donald just to give some background to the item, sir.
Thank you very much. Donald October, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Through you, Chair, may I please share my screen?
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, everyone can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, so we've received an application for the rezoning and subdivision and special consent for the remainder of 1148 in Bredasdorp. As you can see, the locality is right here. Where can everyone see it clear?
Clear?
Yes, we see the map. We see the indication of the cursor just indicating where the location of the property is.
Okay, just to give you a bit of background, the municipality had an initiative to formalize a property for a taxi interchange for the Cape Agulhas area. And in 2019, so this initiative started way back in 2019, where a company called Delta Built Environment was appointed to prepare a SDP or site development plan for the municipality. During the months of between October and November of 2019, and also for February 2020, we held various workshops with the different wards and members of the public, and also interested infected parties, where we had active workshops where people could give their inputs on the site development plan for the taxi interchange. It was received very positively by the general public and also the INAPs. And for this reason, for the final SDP, and the reason why we held this workshop is so that people could give their inputs. So the final SDP, or the site development plan, was submitted in February of last year in 2020. But as you know, the pandemic and everything was on ice for the remainder of 2020. So what happened is we could only proceed with the application for the tax interchange in 2021 of this year. So that it was published in March, 5th of March in the press, and it was also circulated to the surrounding neighbors, the Cape Agulhas Business Chamber, and also the various external internal departments. So the formal application was for the subdivision of that remainder of 1148 into 3 portions. So the portion A was 238 squares, and the portion B was for 1.2 hectares for the taxi interchange. So the portion A, the 238 square one, was from undetermined to authority for the substation that I am clearly marking here with the cursor. that is situated there, and also the rezoning from undetermined to transport for the proposed taxi interchange. Then there was also a special consent on portion B for business purposes. Now, during the public participation period, we haven't received any objections, but there was an inquiry made by Tribunal, the Overberg test range, where they simply said they are not against the taxi interchange, but against the rezoning, due to the fact that if you can also watch your screen, like for the 20 plus years, Danielle parked their buses here for the employees that transported them from the Overberg test range to Bredasdorp. So due to the fact they just wanted, from the municipality side, they're not objecting, they are just wanting for an alternative site to park their buses and also the other private vehicles. So this is what we are proposing. This is the final SDP. This is the site for the proposed taxi rank and also the substation, as you can clearly see. This is the remainder of the 1148 that can be used for Denel. So it was also brought to town planning's attention that there was, or there is still, a active lease agreement between Denel and Cape Agulhas municipality. So, and I also know for a fact that this tribunal cannot appoint a portion or number of property to a certain individual or company, but through contractual purposes, we can allocate or recommend to council that an alternative site can be used to accommodate them. Yeah, and that's about it. There was no objections. That's the only comment we received, and I'm throwing it back to the panel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Donald. I think that is fairly clear and self-explanatory. So, members of the Planning Tribunal, are there any questions that you at this point have for Donald? Anything you want to clarify? Any points of particular interest you want to raise? You're more than welcome to do so. Mr. Abdulaziz Jacobs.
Thank you to Donald for that in-depth presentation. That's only the most salient feature of this application being the not objection, but the comment from Denel, and Donald has covered it extensively to say that it is a contractual obligation. Denel has a vested interest, but they're only renting the place under contractual obligations from the municipality. Should the municipality find an alternative site, I think Tracy has earmarked also part of the site also for a possible relocation. But if that is the only thing, Chairperson, then I can't see that there's anything. There's no formal objections against the item, and the Denel issue can be dealt with outside of the tribunal. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes. No, I totally agree. I'm also just of the opinion, I'm just glad we could accommodate them on an alternative site. I know Denel is one of the major employers in the Cape Agulhas region, so we also really want to see that the municipality actually just try to accommodate that as well. But I agree with you, it is something that we just can refer to council itself to have to consider a new application or just an amendment to the existing lease agreement that they do have with the municipality or the arrangement. But thanks for that. Any of the other members? Mr. Jeremy, are you comfortable with the information in front of us?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just quickly, just from my side, Donald, and I've read that it was advertised in the press on the 5th of March, and then the registered letters were sent to the surrounding neighbors. However, I didn't pick up a map sometimes. I don't know whether you sometimes include which neighbors received letters, just for my own information purposes. But if you don't have such a map, it's fine. I'm quite surprised that we have not received any comments from the surrounding neighbors, but it's something good. It's something positive But I know when we had the workshops prior to the land use planning application process, when the site development plan was being developed or drawn up, obviously we received a lot of comments. Delta received a lot of comments, or actually that we've received a lot of resistance against the taxi rank. But I think most of their concerns were addressed in the final SDP, and that's why that could be one of the reasons why we didn't receive, or you received, any objections against when the application was advertised.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. Yes, thank you for the comment. Yeah, I think also Delta did well in that regard by doing that workshop so extensively with the surrounding neighbors and just getting the inputs and the general comments and just trying to implement them in this final SDP. So I think they've covered all the bases mostly, and that's why I think we didn't receive any objections in that regard. Yeah, thanks, Chair.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm also glad to see all the consultation processes with all the relevant stakeholders and role players. And that's actually very encouraging to note. Okay, so panel members, if there are no further points for clarification for our town planning department, the recommendation from the departments is on page, let me just get the page here. There's a summary of the evaluation on page 30 of the agenda, which also just indicate the benefits that can be derived from a facility like this. And then there's a clear recommendation, number 9 of the report, which indicates that the application made in terms of section 50 of the Cape Agulhas Municipal Land Use Planning Bylaw of 2015 for the following. Number 1 is the application for the subdivision of 1148. The second one is the rezoning of portion A from undetermined to authority use. Portion B, rezoning application for portion B from undetermined to transport. And then also the last request is for the special consent for portion B for business purposes. So there's a clear recommendation from the department taking all the factors into consideration that this application can be approved. Can we get a proposal from one of the panel members for the approval of this application? There's a proposal from Mr. Hendrik Kroon and also seconded by Mr. Jeremy Benjamin. Is there anybody that is totally opposed to this application? What do they say? Speak now or forever hold your peace. If there's none, we can regard this as a unanimous resolution from the Municipal Planning Tribunal that the application in front of us are being approved. Thank you very much for that approval. I don't see anything else on the agenda, so it's a fairly short meeting. Mr. Jeremy Benjamin, any questions from your side?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just quickly, my question is just maybe to any official from the municipality side. I have been involved with the planning, some of the planning of this application prior to the land use planning application process. But just for my own information purposes, if the application is now approved, obviously there might be, I don't know, whether there's an appeal period, but and my understanding is this approval is valid for the next 5 years. So what just in terms of the way forward, how are we gonna I don't know whether somebody can answer this, but in terms of funding, how do we make the project realize? Are there phasing possibilities of phasing the project? Do we foresee this project to realize still within the next 5 years before it lapses? Yeah, what are the plans going forward to obviously, I think a lot of people of the municipal areas, obviously they're very happy about what's happening for the taxi rank. A lot of people have been waiting for this. It's the first taxi rank for the municipal area. It will definitely create or solve a lot of problems in terms of public transport for the area. But how do we take this forward?
Yes, thank you very much. Anybody that is going to comment on that? I know there's a couple of departments that are involved in this. It's currently being driven The statutory processes have been driven by our town planning department, but simply because it's part of our integrated transport plan, maybe Abdulaziz, I think it will now move, the focus will now move from for implementation and securing of funding and also engagement with the relevant authorities from your side. Maybe can you just enlighten us on this, please?
Thanks, Mr. Chair, through you. Thanks, Jeremy, for the question about the validity and the time period with regards to this application. Yes, first of all, we've embarked on this process. It's been a lengthy process, most probably 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Chair, that we get the land use and the rezoning right in order to be able to move to the next step. And the next step in the process, just for the purposes of clarity for all those who are listening in, is that once the rezoning has been approved, then detailed technical designs from the provisional preliminary designs that was developed by Delta Beck for the taxi interchange will be commenced, Mr. Chair. It is a multi-year project. So the first part would be developing the detailed technical design and the bill of quantities of the land use, the intended land use, Mr. Chair. I must also at this point in time say that it is a item on the municipal manager's desk with the taxi association that they are looking very they're very keen on the advancement and the swiftness of this intervention and formalizing the taxi operations in the Cape Agulhas region, and also to improve mobility and connectivity to the rest of the towns. So it is quite urgent on the agenda of the municipality that this item move forward in development. So as I've mentioned, the first one is to finalize the detailed designs, and thereafter construction will commence, Mr. Chair, based on the provision of the budget, Mr. Chair. That's from my side. From the technical side, I think it is right on top of the agenda of the technical department also to support the transport initiatives in the municipality, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, you're muted.
Thank you very much, Director Infrastructure Services. Really encouraging to note, and I can also assure you that we will definitely drive this as a high priority within the municipality. Tracy?
Thank you, Municipal Manager. Yeah, thank you, Abdulaziz, for that response. I think maybe just one or two things that I'd like to add to that. Once we've got the detailed designs, we obviously need to make an active effort to try and source funding from wherever we can. We'll probably specifically start approaching government departments, but yeah, there's a multitude of sources that we can start looking at. But I think what the important thing is whenever you apply for funding on a project like this, the first question is, are you project ready? And that is one of the key reasons that we proceeded with this town planning exercise at this point. Because generally when you do manage to get funding, it would need to be spent in a certain time. And most funders would not want to fund something if there is still a lengthy town planning process that has to be followed that could in some circumstances derail the whole project. So one of the key, shall we say, motivations at this point as well is also to get ourselves project ready that we can actively source funding. Thank you.
Thank you. So Jeremy, that answers your question?
Yes, thank you very much, Tracy and Abdul, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Just lastly from my side, when we get to the funding applications, I think Tracy know already that you can, Mr. MM, you can just contact me. We can assist with some funding at some of our sister departments. That's Public Works, and also maybe DDAT at the later stage for the informal training. Yes. But
okay, yeah. Thank you. They will definitely take you up on that, and very encouraging to note that. Thank you very much, and thanks for your support in this regard. Okay, colleagues and Municipal Planning Tribunal members, thank you very much for this meeting. It was very quick and short and swift, but it's obviously a very long outstanding matter, and we're really looking forward to taking it up to the next level of implementation. So I declare this meeting as adjourned, and have yourself a lovely weekend. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye-bye.
Chair.
Thanks,
Thank you,
bye-bye.
colleague. Yes, bye-bye.
Thank you also members of the public that tuned in. Thanks, Willem.